to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Check nickel. Here we go. Kick.
Andy Dalton. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Jaguars' 49-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And caught right side, Green. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
They go with Leonard Fournette, 3rd-year back from LSU. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Foles. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now Foles. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now here's Ross. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
All day, every day, any day. Check safety, check safety. 368. 44, Mike, 44. Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Now Joe Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Mike spoke forward. I'm scared. 44 is the Mike. 44 is the Mike. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And this is caught off the deflection. Dalton to his big target, Eifert for the Cincinnati first.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Check. Watch the out.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And some space here. 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play. Yeah.
That, too.
Ricky.
Tyler.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Foles. He's going to rifle one, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you
Mixon hit, and the ball is out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline. The friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
44 to Mike. And that QB's trash. Let's go.
On second down and 4. Dalton. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play. First down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Dalton. He finds his running back, Mixon. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on fourth down. They'll try and run with Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Denied on fourth down is Joe Mixon. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The open man is Westbrook. 19 yards there on the catch and run. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, needs good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
The Bengals take over first and 10
Get ready.
at their own 31-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mixon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
5-6.
44.
Hey, Charlie.
44. Cut.
On 3rd down, Dalton. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Miles Jack with a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap, allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
A big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
We go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
He's not going to get me.
Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
I'm coming after you.
Pilot, 64, weak.
52, Mike, 52.
Get that quarterback, D-line. What we got? D-line, get that quarterback.
Here's Foles. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Easy.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 2nd and 11 now. Foles. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
To throw on third down, Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Mixon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys... Hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Watch the pass. 44 to Mike.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll punt it away for the second time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. to throw here. Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Calais Campbell able to record his 5th sack of the season. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's now 4th down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, it's Smallwood. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs.
Hey, Keaton.
Block 52. Block 52.
They'll set up to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail offense. First time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again, it's Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Hands up. Lead.
3 bucks.
On 3rd down, Dalton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now on 2nd and 13. Foles. This one complete to Smallwood. 22 yards there, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, that little flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
By 52, by 52.
A give to Smallwood out of the gun. Room to run past midfield. And he cuts it out to the sideline. 38 yards on the scamper there.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes it a 21-10 game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Uses the spin. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Exit,
Exit. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Throw left side, complete. That's Boyd. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Another chance for Dalton. Flushed out right. That's complete. Bernard. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try to pass on fourth down. Dalton, he's got his man here. It's Green. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. Andy Dalton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And Dalton to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And now it's third down.
I got one. Fight this.
47
Go.
Check, 47. Watch the screen. Pass. 47 mark, 47.
This will be Dalton again. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Going right back to Smallwood. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good.
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Team 6.
From the 38, Foles. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Ready? Hey, Mike.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Bravo.
Dalton. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
What we got?
Hey, orbit.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
47's the mic. 47.
Bengals going for it. Here's Dalton. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
Now, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
13.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Now Foles. Roy stays up, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a two-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Dalton now to pass. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Wendell Smallwood, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Riley Harrison. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. It's do or die for Dalton. On the right side, caught by Green. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Jacksonville, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.